Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amora and Nana Fun Times channel. I'm having a great day, and if I'm having a great day, and you should be having a great day. So let's have some fun. I'm Nana. Amora is not here, and as you see by the title, I'm talking about devotee dating. Ooh, a devotee is a person who likes a person with a disability, no matter whether it's spina bifida, MF, amputations, or whatever it is. It's just any type of person who likes a person with a disability. Doesn't matter what the disability is. It's called a devotee. Now, I never heard of a devotee until I had my first leg amputation. Now, if you want to see that, I do have my videos up about that. This is a family channel, so we talk about anything and everything here. It's family. You guys are my family. So I want to talk about my very first devotee date. I'm going to call the guy Mr. S. I want to call him Mr. S. Now, I've written down some things down because I've lost a lot of my memory through hyperbaric. So if you see me looking down, that's when I'm looking at my notes and stuff. But tonight is part one. I want to talk about Mr. S. Now, this is my first date as an amputee with a disability of my left leg. Okay? I needed to go to the grocery store and I wanted to get out. You know, like I said, I lost everything during my amputation. So I was living it back at home with my mom, with my daughter. And, you know, my mom was taking care of everything, doing everything for me. Shout out to my mom. I mean, when I lost everything, you know, it was a big pill to swallow, to lose everything and then have to go home to your mom. But I'm glad I had a good relationship with her that I was able to come back home. So you know what, you guys, if you guys are having trouble with your parents, reconcile with them, because you never know when you may need them in this life. And I needed my mom because I lost everything: my house, my savings, my car, so-called family and friends. I lost them, but you know what? Let's go on. Okay, so this particular day, I was in a house for months and months. I wanted to go out. So I said, Mama, can I go with you? She said, yeah. So at that time, I had my first leg amputation. So I had a prosthesis. So I put that on and I was walking with a walker. So I got in my mom's car and we went to the store. We were shopping around and everything. And I was getting my stuff, you know, not looking around or whatever, but, you know, you always want to look around to your surroundings and everything. And I saw this light-skinned guy with glasses, and he just kept looking at me, smiling and stuff. So, you know me, how you doing? I smiled back. And I kept on going on doing shopping and getting my little lists and everything. And every hour I went down, it's like he was there. And I'm like, is this man following me in his store? And he was. Until finally he got enough guts to come up. And now, okay, take it. I was riding in the little scooter thing. You know, the little scooters they have at the store where you can drive around the store when you're not able to walk. So I was in one of those. Now, take it. He never asked me why was I in a scooter. He didn't ask me anything about that. He just saw a pretty face. So he came up to me. He was like, you are so gorgeous and cute. He said, I hope I don't offend you. I said, no, I'm not offended. I said, thank you so very much. And I told him, I said, I don't look like what I've been through. And he said, no, you don't. Never asked any more questions. He just said, can I give you my number? Can me and you talk on the phone? I said, sure. So he gave me his number and he went on shopping, doing whatever. He said, now don't play me, call me, okay? So I said, okay. So me and my mama shopping and everything. I said, Mama, this guy was following me around the store and he gave me his number to call. She was like, call him. I said, well, Mama, I don't know about all this. You know, I don't know. And she said, well, call him, you know. So I said I was apprehensive at first, because I'm like, well, okay, this lady told me about devotees, and I'm like, I did tell him after a while when we were talking in the store that I wasn't able to walk, but I discussed it with him later on the phone for my testimony. And he was like, yeah, okay, that would encourage him. So I got home, and like I said, I was a little apprehensive at first. And I called my girlfriend, my friend girl at the time. And I said, girl, I met this guy in the store. And she's like, for real, what's his name? So and so, so and so. And I told her her name. His name, she was like, how he look? I said, well, he tall, light skinned. She's like, do he wear glasses? And I'm like, how does she know that? Was he kind of healthy? I was like, yeah. She said, girl, I know him. I know Mr. S. I said, huh? She said, yeah, I went to school with him, so and so. So I said, I went to school with you too. What you mean you know him? She was like, yeah. I said, well, I never met him. She was like, girl, yeah, I know him, so and so, so and so. So she was giving me the lowdown. And she was like, yeah, he all right. I was like, I don't know. So she was like, call him. So she was like, call him and call me back. So I called him, and we began to talk on the phone and everything about our likes and lives and everything. And he was real nice to talk to and everything. And he was like, well, when can I meet you? And I was stuck. I'm like, huh? He was like, when can I meet you? And I'm like, I don't know. He was like, can I take you out? I was like, he was like, well, can I at least come to your house and meet you and everything like that? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, well, I'll give you a call back. He was like, you gonna call me back for real and let me know? He was like, I really find you very attractive and I want to get to know you better. I'm like, okay. So I called my friend girl back, and we was talking and kiki on the phone. And she was like, girl, let him come over. I said, no, I will only let him come over if you come over too. So she was like, bet it up, let's go. So she came first, and I called him back. I was like, sure, you can come over. He didn't know that she was going to be there. But surprise, surprise. I don't know you. I don't know. So anyway, he was like, well, can I come over tomorrow? And I'm like, well, okay, well, dang. Okay. So I'm like, okay. He was like, I'm going to bring you dinner. I said, well, okay. He was like, what you like? I said, I like a lot of stuff. He was like, well, I'm by next to First Walk. You want some Chinese food? I said, sure. He was like, what you want? I said, you buy me some shrimp fried rice. I'm going to leave everything out of it. Just make it plain. He was like, okay. He was like, I will see you tomorrow about 7 o'clock. So I called my friend girl. I was like, girl, you got to be here at 6:30, 6 o'clock. So she came at 6. And at 6:59, the doorbell ring. I'm like, oh, my heart was going boom, 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 And she was like, well, did you tell him about you? I said, well, yeah, I did. But I didn't finish it. But he was, he know that I'm disabled or whatever. She was like, well, and he still wanted to come and see you? I said, yeah. She was like, well, okay. So he came in and she went to the door. I was sitting at the table. She went to the door and answered it and was like, hey, he knew who she was or whatever. So they talked it up and everything. And finally they came and sat down at the table. So he came and sat by me and everything. And he was like, hey, Blondie, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. And, I had my hand there and he asked me for my hand and he kissed me on my hand. He was such a gentleman. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. Okay, he been a gentleman. So we sat there and we talked about school. We went back from when we graduated, after school, all that other type of stuff. So she said, well, I'm gonna go in the room with mama and let y'all talk. So she went in the room with my mom and everything. And we sat there and we talked and everything. And he was asking me a lot of questions, and I was asking him a lot of questions too, trying to find out, filling him out, and he was filling me out, get to know me better. Then I said, well, you know what? Let me go into more detail about my disability. And he said, well, you told me that you was disabled, that you couldn't walk, that's why you was, in the push buggy thing. I was like, yeah. And then he looked down and he saw my, I said, look. And he said, what? I said, look at this leg, my left leg. And he said, I'm looking. And see, the type of prosthesis I had, It didn't show the gadgets and all the other type of stuff. It had a covering over it that looked like a real leg. It wasn't the same color as my face, but it looked like a real leg. But a lot of times people are different in color from they, from different parts of their body. So he just thought it was a regular leg, and he felt it, and he was like, it felt like rubber. What's wrong? It felt right. And I was like, this is a prosthesis. And he said, huh? I said, a prosthesis. He said, huh? I said, this is a fake leg. And he said, huh? His mouth was open. He said, oh my goodness. I said, no. Don't feel sorry for me because I'm fine. My leg is amputated and I wear prosthesis. Now, have you ever heard of a prosthesis now? Well, yeah, So I talked to him about my prosthesis, my testimony, and all of that type of stuff. And he listened there and was very inquisitive and asked me questions, and I answered everyone because I'm not ashamed where God has taken me from and what he's taken me through and what I'm going to go to. Okay, so I was just telling him everything, and he was like, oh, you're so open. I said, yeah, I'm open about everything. And he was like, oh, so we sat there and we ate the Chinese food and everything, and Mama, poured us a drink, and we had a good old time. And I'm like, you know what? This can start as a good friendship because I don't jump into anything. We have to be friends, and I got to know that God is in your life before we move or, get to going or anything. I like to take my time. I'm old school. If you guys know what I mean. So we sat there and we talked and everything, a little bit more and everything, and we were laughing and cuckooing and everything. And my friend girl came back in here, and we was cuckooing. My mama came in here, and we just had a real good time, like we knew each other for years. And I'm like, this friend may be all right. This is my first date. We may be all right. As a devotee, he's a devotee. So I'm like, okay, because I told him in the store that my leg was amputated. So I was like, okay. So he said, well, can I ask you a serious question? I'm like, you've been asking me questions all night. I done answered it. He was like, no, I want to ask you a serious question. And he was like, I don't know if I want to ask you or not. I'm like, I'm open. Ask me the question. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I did. But, I'm open about, what I've been going through or whatever. And he said, I had a skirt on. He said, does that bone work in the middle? I said, what you mean? He was like, do your private parts work? Now, that made me feel some type of way. I started to really say something to that young man, but I took a swallow. I said, yes, my private part work. And he said, oh, I just wanted to know. How can you come on a first date as a devotee to a disability person and ask them, do their private parts work? That was very offensive. I don't think that you should ask a person that on a first date. I believe you should get to know a person. I'm not saying don't never ask them, but I'm saying get to know the person better, not on the first date. You, as a devotee, asking a person with a disability that question. And I said yes. And the conversation subsided some after that because he made me feel some type of way. I was really ready to throw him out my mama's house. But I was cool. I sat there and we talked and everything. And he was like, well, I got to work in the morning, but I'll call you later. So he kissed my hand again as a gentleman, and he left. And my friend girl said, girl, what's up? What happened? What was it? And I told her about that. She said, girl, no, he did. I said, yes, he did. Okay. I was like, what, the 45? She said, girl, no, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. She's like, oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. But I said, you ain't got nothing to feel sorry about. He should have never asked me that question. And I said, I feel some type of way about it. I said, but you know what? It's okay. She said, did you answer? I said, yeah, I answered it. She was like, I would have answered, didn't answer and tell him a story. I said, no, I won't, no, I'm going to be truthful about it because I want to see where this goes, if he has any more other questions or what. So he called me when he got home and we talked for hours on the phone and then, you know, it was okay. Yeah. And that was the first night. Now, after the first night, guess what, you guys? I didn't hear from him again. I didn't call him because I'm old school. A man is supposed to go after a woman. The word of God says, he that finds, not she that finds, he that finds. Okay? I'm not going to chase after no man. Oh, no, never have. Even before when I was walking, I was well. I'm not chasing no man with a disability either. So I didn't hear from him after that. And about a month later, I went to the grocery store. Guess what? I saw Mr. S. I'm going to call him, yeah. I saw Mr. S in a grocery store. And do you know, he ignored me. Now, you know when you see somebody in a grocery store and they know, you know that they know you and they know that they know you, but they turn their head. I went down the aisle where he was. I followed him in the store like he was following me in the store when we first met. I told my school, I was like, zoom, zoom. Every aisle he went to, I was going down the aisle playing like I was buying, that I needed something. I didn't need nothing. I was just messing with him because he knew me but didn't want to speak to me. Now, ain't that something? Now, if you didn't want to have a relationship with me, I understand that too. We could have just been friends. I could have encouraged you. I could have talked to you as a friend, girl. You know, you trying to get with somebody or, you know, just a woman's prerogative about something. We could have just been friends. He didn't have to ignore me like that, but I let him know that I know that he knew me in that store. He didn't say nothing. He looked at me, kept looking at me, but he didn't open his mouth. I didn't say not one word. I just looked like, you see me and I see you. Now, why are you acting like that? But yeah, that was my first date, Mr. S, as a devotee. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I said, wow. Wow, I had something written on my paper that I can't find. But I'm going to try to get it, y'all. Move this stain back because I want to say something that I've written down. You know, like as I told you that I lost a lot of memory, you know, in the hyperbaric chambers. But yeah, Mr. S acted like he didn't see me in the store, but I made sure that he saw me and that I know that he knew that I knew who he was and he knew who I was. And my mama, she said, girl, you crazy. She just started laughing. I said, no, mama, I'm crazy. I'm just being real. He could have kept me as a friend because I'm a good friend, girl. I'm a good friend, girl. And I'm a good listener. I'm a good person to talk your problems to, concerns. I can give you some advice, whether you take it or not. You know, I can give you my opinion. I could do a lot of things. But he could have had a friend, girl. He could have just said, Blondie, I don't want to date you. I just want to be your friend. And that would have been fine. That would have been fine. Well, anyway, guys, this is part 1. Please like, subscribe, view, share this video. Please. You know, I want to say, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? For I will praise him. For my light will never, ever be dim. Never. Nobody will put Blondie's light out. Not Mr. S. Not nobody. Because he has done great and marvelous things for me. Okay, you guys. I love you, family. And as always, be wonderfully blessed by our King on today. Yes, this is Devotee Part 1. I love you. Have a good day or a good night or a good evening.